Welcome back to the worst case scenario, everyone, in which Jay currently has a commanding lead right now, but Mark and Alex can still catch up. And Mark, it's your turn.
Uno, dos, tres, rolls.
You rolled a 2. How to tell if a plant is poisonous. A. Rub the plant on the skin. If bumps appear, it is poisonous. B. Lick the plant and wait a few minutes. If your tongue tingles afterward, the plant could be poisonous. C. Crush part of the plant and smell it. If it smells like peaches or almonds, it could be poisonous.
A?
It's C. Crush part of the plant and smell it. If it smells like peaches or almonds, it could be poisonous. Alex.
And the 1 and the 2 and the 1, 2, 3.
You rolled a 4. This will put you one space behind Mark if you answer correctly. How to treat a shark bite. A. Allow the bite to drain, then treat it with antibiotics. B. Scrub the bite vigorously and flush it with hydrogen peroxide and water. C. Wash the bite with soap and water, then rinse it with rubbing alcohol.
B.
It's A. Allow the bite to drain, then treat it with antibiotics. J.
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
And you rolled a 1. Your piece got knocked off the board, but I remember where it was, and it's back on the right spot. You had a question about the Ebola virus earlier. Now I want to know how to recognize it. A. Symptoms include abdominal pain, fatigue, and diarrhea. B. Symptoms include large boils on the arms and legs, swelling of the face, and blackening of the skin. C. Symptoms include hair loss and blackening of the fingernails and toenails.
I will go with A.
That is the correct answer. You move forward one space.
You're doing pretty good, Jay.
Yes, he is. Mark?
1, 2, 3, go.
You rolled a 6. How to recognize the bubonic plague. A. Symptoms include fever, chills, severe fatigue, vomiting, and enlarged and tender lymph nodes. B. Symptoms include persistent coughing and wheezing, inability to sleep, and bloody urine. C. Symptoms include swelling of the tongue, dry mouth, and an unbearable throbbing in the throat and neck, followed by the inability to hold up one's head.
Bloody urine? Ew.
Exactly.
I think I know which answer I'm staying away from.
Okay.
Although hopefully I don't regret it. I'll try answer C.
You were smart to not go with B, because B was the wrong answer. But C was a wrong answer too. It was A. Symptoms include fever, chills, severe fatigue, vomiting, and enlarged and tender lymph nodes. Alex.
And the 1 and the 2 and the 1, 2, 3.
You rolled a 3. How to react a train suddenly breaks. A. Throw yourself on the floor and rest your chin on your chest. B. If you are standing, sit on another passenger. If you are sitting, pull another passenger onto you. C. Immediately run to the closest exit and jump off the train.
B.
It's A. Throw yourself on the floor and rest your chin on your chest. J.
Alright. 1, 2, 3.
And you rolled a 1 yet again. But let's see what your scenario is. How to identify paralytic shellfish poisoning. Paralytic shellfish poisoning. A. Immediately after eating, the victim's mouth will become numb. She will be weak and lightheaded, lose coordination, and have a rapid heartbeat. B.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I'm going to repeat the choices. A. Immediately after eating, the victim's mouth will become numb, she will be weak and lightheaded, lose coordination, and have a rapid heartbeat. B. 1 to 2 hours after eating shellfish, the victim will experience a tingling sensation in the head and neck followed by uncontrollable vomiting and diarrhea. C. A few hours after eating shellfish, the victim will become extremely tired and develop a severe headache.
A.
That is correct. One step forward. Mark.
1, 2, 3, roll.
You roll a 5. How to remove an insect from the ear. A. Immerse the victim's head in water, then slowly tilt the head so the insect floats out. B. Fill the ear with mineral oil to drown the insect, then remove it with tweezers. C. Lay the victim on her side and have someone carefully blow smoke through a straw into the victim's ear until the insect exits.
I've never heard of anyone removing insects from with tweezers. I'll say C.
Well, you should have gone with the one with the tweezers because that's the correct answer. It's B.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah. Tough question. Alex.
1, 2, 3. Show me a move.
It's a 5. It'll tie you with Mark if you get it right. How to identify people at risk of developing skin cancer. A. People with green or blue eyes, a fair complexion, and blonde or red hair are at high risk. B. People with freckles and thick skin are at high risk. C. People with naturally dry skin are at high risk.
A.
You're now tied with Mark. That is correct. So at this point,
Yeah, guess there.
Alex and Mark are tied. Jay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
And it's another 1. How to treat dysentery. A. Swallow charcoal. B. Before each meal, lay across a log so your head and feet are lower than your abdomen for 15 minutes. C. Stop drinking unfiltered water.
Oh boy. I'll try B.
It's A. Swallow charcoal. Mark.
1, 2, 3, go.
It's a 4. How to eat tree bark.
Ew.
Exactly. A. Rub the tree and collect the dust that falls from it, then boil the dust for at least an hour. B. Only the bark of oak and pine trees is edible. Salt and then dry the bark before eating it. C. The lightly colored layer of the inner bark can be eaten raw or cooked.
I'll try A this time.
It's actually C. The lightly colored layer of the inner bark can be eaten raw or cooked. Alex.
1, 2, 3.
Show me a move.
It's a 5.
And will that give me the lead?
No, but it'll put you in second place. How to deal with an outbreak of the bubonic plague. A. Do not panic. The disease will only be spread through highly intimate contact. B. All people in face-to-face contact with the victim should take antibiotics and monitor body temperatures. C. All people in contact with the victim during the incubation period of the disease should be quarantined and treated as though they have the disease.
A.
It's B. All people in face-to-face contact with the victim should take antibiotics and monitor body temperatures. J.
1, 2, 3. I died of dysentery.
Ah!
I hope not. You rolled a 2.
Thank you, Oregon Trail.
How to get food from a pine tree. A. Roast closed pine cones over a fire to open them. Then when they open, take out the pine nuts and eat them. B. Shave the bark off the tree and mash it into a paste, then bake or fry the paste. C. The whole pine cone can be eaten raw or cooked.
C.
It's A. Roast closed pine cones over a fire to open them, then when they open, take out the pine nuts and eat them. Okay? Mark.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, go.
Well, you rolled a 1, but we want to know how to recognize trichinosis.
What?
Trichinosis. Trichinosis. But, if you have to on this one, take a complete guess. A. Within 2 weeks of ingesting infected meat, symptoms include high fever, muscle aches, swelling around the eyes, and joint pain. B. Within 48 hours of ingesting infected meat, symptoms include sore throat, headache, delirium, and frequent nosebleeds. C. Within a few hours of ingesting infected meat, symptoms include swelling of the feet, ringing in the ears, and flushed skin.
What's with all that noise?
Were you talking to me, Mark?
Yeah, whose noise is that on that side? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to repeat those. I couldn't hear that well.
A. Within 2 weeks of ingesting infected meat, symptoms include high fever, muscle aches, swelling around the eyes, and joint pain. B. Within 48 hours of ingesting infected meat, symptoms include sore throat, headache, delirium, and frequent nosebleeds. C. Within a few hours of ingesting infected meat, symptoms include swelling of the feet, ringing in the ears, and flushed skin.
Alright, would that be A?
For someone who's never heard of trichinosis, you answered correctly.
Alright.
Right, so you move ahead 1 space. Now we move to Alex.
Alright, 1, 2, 3.
Show me a move.
It's a 6. This will put you in second place if you get it right. How to avoid infection from coral and barnacle cuts. A. Scrub the skin near the cut with Comet Cleanser, then apply a cortisone cream. B. Scrub the skin near the cut with soap and water. Flush it with hydrogen peroxide and water. Rinse and apply antibiotic ointment. C. Rinse the skin near the cut with warm water and ammonia. Carefully dab the cut with a cotton swab covered in antibiotic ointment.
I'm gonna say B.
And that will put you in second place. You are correct. Okay? Jay, it's your turn.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
You rolled a 2. How to recognize when someone is hyperventilating. A. The victim may choke, have difficulty swallowing, experience chest pain, and blurred vision. B. The victim may not be able to breathe and may experience severe abdominal pain. C. The victim may have severe pain in the eyes, nose, and head, accompanied by profuse sweating and nausea.
Let's see. I'm gonna try B.
It's A. The victim may choke, have difficulty swallowing, experience chest pain, and blurred vision. Suffocation, hyperventilation. Oh, Lord. Mark?
Alright, 1, 2, 3, go.
You rolled a 1. How to eat seaweed safely. A. Eat fresh seaweed right away to avoid spoiling. B. Cut the seaweed into strips and wrap around raw fish. C. Only eat seaweed boiled or steamed.
B.
It's A. Eat fresh seaweed right away to avoid spoiling. Alex.
1, 2, 3. There we go.
You rolled a 2. How to drive on desert sand. A. Deflate the tires a little bit and don't change gears once you start driving. B. Do not exceed 15 miles per hour and apply the brakes only when absolutely necessary. C. Turn on the heater and headlights and turn the wheel as little as possible.
C.
It's A. Deflate the tires a little bit and don't change gears once you start driving. J.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
You rolled a 3 this time. How to avoid breaking through ice in a car. A. Drive only on river ice. It is generally thicker than lake ice. B. Drive slowly over ice only with snow on it. C. Cross any cracks at right angles and drive slowly.
I'm thinking B.
You should have thought C. Cross any cracks at right angles and drive slowly. Mark.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, go.
You rolled a 3. How long you can survive without food?
Oh.
A. An average adult male can survive for 14 to 21 days. B. An average adult male can survive for 20 to 30 days. C. An average adult male can survive for 30 to 40 days.
I don't think anyone would be able to survive a month or more without eating. I'm gonna say A.
It's C. An average adult male can survive for 30 to 40 days, although I do not see how that is possible. Alex. Alex.
Oh, 1, 2, 3.
Show me a move.
It's a 4. How to proceed if your car breaks down in heavy fog. A. Turn the car around to face oncoming traffic, then pull as far off the road as possible. Leave the headlights on. B. Stay in your lane, turn on the hazard lights, then get out of the car. C. Pull off the road as far as possible, turn on the hazard and parking lights.
A.
It's C. Pull off the road as far as possible, turn on the hazard and parking lights. J.
1, 2, 3.
And you rolled a 4. How to recognize an allergic reaction to a bee sting. A. Symptoms include shortness of breath, hives, swelling of the tongue, and low blood pressure. B. Symptoms include severe abdominal cramping, a bluing of the skin around the sting, and throbbing in the joints. C. Symptoms include an intense headache followed by dizziness, disorientation, and tingling in the hands and feet.
Could you repeat the choices again? I didn't hear them quite well.
A. Symptoms include shortness of breath, hives, swelling of the tongue, and low blood pressure. B. Symptoms include severe abdominal cramping, a bluing of the skin around the sting, and throbbing in the joints. C. Symptoms include an intense headache followed by dizziness, disorientation, and tingling in the hands and feet.
I'll go with B on this one.
It's A. Symptoms include shortness of breath, hives, swelling of the tongue, and low blood pressure. Okay. And we'll go to Mark, but that'll happen when we come back.